What a handsome group. I ask all to be seated, please. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our platform party. I ask that you kindly hold your applause until all have been introduced. We have Dr. Michelle O'Meara, alumna, class of 2014. Dr. George Allen, interim chair of the Department of Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Steve Sutton, chair of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. James Krebs, assistant dean of experiential education. Dr. Wallace Marsh, assistant dean, assessment and accreditation. Dr. Jennifer Athay Adams, Senior Director of Strategic Academic Partnerships, American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. Dr. Alex Adams, Vice President of Pharmacy Programs for the National Association of Chain Drugstores. Dr. Kenneth McCall, Coordinator of Professional and Alumni Affairs. Dr. Gail Brazeau, College of Pharmacy Dean. And last but not least, Dr. Glenn Rosenthal, Associate Dean for Academic Programs and Business Ventures. I'd also like to, I don't want to take away their due. There are a few people in the VIP section in the audience that I'd like to acknowledge as well. We have Mr. Ray Handy and Travis Erickson from the Student Affairs Office. We have Dr. James Coble, Provost and Senior Vice President, University of New England. And we have Dr. Doug Kay and Dottie. Dr. Kay was the Dean at the College of Pharmacy from 2009 to 2010, and he was very instrumental in the founding of the College of Pharmacy. He's really the father of the College of Pharmacy, we call him. The college has benefited from his guidance and leadership throughout the years, and it's a pleasure to have him and his wife with us today. Are there any other members of the academic community in the audience that aren't in the VIP section? I didn't notice if there were others. The faculty, of course, but they will be introduced, yes. Pharmacy education is based upon a strong foundation in the biomedical and pharmaceutical sciences. The Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences helps our students develop this strong foundation through courses such as biochemistry and pharmacology. It is my pleasure to introduce the chair of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. Stephen Sutton. Dr. Sutton will now tell you more about the department, its faculty, and staff. Dr. Sutton?
Thank you, Dr. Woodward. The brass assembly here behind me was great this morning, weren't they? Yeah. Every time I hear this brass, I think of one of my sons who actually had the trumpet in high school, right? And it was fascinating hearing that trumpet. But he is actually about the same age as our attendees here, our PharmD candidates. So during the next 4 years, we're going to be like brethren. You know, you're like my children. We're all like your adopted parents or uncle and aunts, things like that. Well, it's my charge to describe what the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences does. And what they do is a lot different than what the title is, see? But part of their purpose is to impart some enthusiasm for the knowledge of the foundational sciences. Hey, when I was your age, I was very interested in neuropharmacology. Back in the 70s, there was a lot of mind-altering drugs going around. And I really couldn't understand the attractiveness of these. And now things have come around full circle, and some of these might even become legal, and it's a scary thought. But in order to get the basic pharmacology courses, I had to enter into a program of pharmacy. And that's how I was introduced to pharmacy, through my thirst for knowledge of neuropharmacology. We're lucky enough to have an elective in neuropharmacology in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences. But before we get there, I want to tell you that the basic pharmaceutics courses that you'll take are very important for you to review the physical pharmacy, the physical chemistry characteristics of the active pharmaceutical ingredient, and also how each of the different dosage forms work and why you select one versus another. There are other courses our department also will provide. What was mentioned earlier was biochemistry, pharmacology was mentioned, medicinal chemistry. These are all fundamental basic sciences that you'll enjoy, I'm sure. And we also have other ones more specialized, like pharmacogenomics, which wasn't around when I was going to pharmacy school. And microbiology has become in the forefront again because of all the resistance we're seeing, not only in tuberculosis and in community-acquired and institutionally acquired methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, but also new bugs like the Ebola epidemic that we're hearing about in the news now. So I'd like to ask the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and the faculty who are seated over here to please stand and be recognized. There's a few who couldn't make it. Some are unfortunately sick or have a young child's birthday. You know those are. But I appreciate you all coming, and thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Sutton. Not only does contemporary pharmacy practice require this foundation in the biomedical and pharmaceutical sciences, it also requires practitioners who are competent in the clinical and social and administrative sciences. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. George Allen, Interim Chair of the Department of Pharmacy Practice, to tell you a little bit more about his department and faculty. Dr. Allen?
Thank you, Dr. Woodward. Before I describe the Department of Pharmacy Practice, I would like to, on behalf of the department, echo the welcome of all of our guests and visitors today. I'd like to thank Dr. Jennifer Adams and Dr. Alex Adams for coming here to address our new students. I'd also like to thank the many members of the university community, particularly Dr. Coble, and as well as Dr. Kay and his wife Dottie for coming here. It's always great to see you, Dr. Kay and Dottie. I'd also like to thank Dr. O'Meara. I guess I have to call you that now. It's always great to have alumna helping out with these events and helping out with the College of Pharmacy. Most importantly, I'd like to acknowledge and thank all the family and friends who have been so supportive of our students. And lastly, I'd like to welcome and congratulate the members of the class of 2018. Probably seems a long way away, but it will go by quickly, I think, you'll find. So, as far as the Department of Pharmacy Practice, we are the largest department within the College of Pharmacy. We have over 20 members in our department. And so our faculty are experts in a wide variety of disciplines, including biostatistics, internal medicine, critical care, psychiatric pharmacy, infectious diseases, cancer chemotherapy, medication safety, ambulatory care, public health, women's health, interprofessional education, health policy, and outcomes, just to name a few of the specialties that our faculty are experts within. So all of the faculty devote their time to research, service, and teaching within all of those disciplines. And I think really what sets the Department of Pharmacy Practice apart is that key word of practice. And so we are really the faculty who primarily work to serve the students and to serve you to become eventually practicing clinicians. And so the American College of Clinical Pharmacy is a notable organization within pharmacy. They've actually defined what it means to be a clinical pharmacist. Includes terms such as providing patient care that optimizes medication therapy, promotes health, wellness, and disease prevention, ensures optimal patient outcomes, contributes to the generation of new knowledge, and improves the health and quality of life of the public. And so all of our faculty in the department, as well as the faculty in the college, are really devoted to preparing you as students to eventually attain that goal of becoming a clinician, no matter where your career may take you. So we do provide or perform research in a variety of settings, including clinical settings and looking at things like the appropriateness of medication use and performing research that often involves students. Our faculty also teach across all 4 years of the curriculum in a variety of courses, such as Introduction to Pharmacy Practice, Advanced Pharmacy Practice, Clinical Pharmacokinetics, Therapeutics, just to name a few. And I think most importantly with our faculty, many of them do serve as clinical practitioners at local institutions such as Maine Medical Center in Portland, Central Maine Medical Center in Lewiston, Spring Harbor in Westbrook, and Martins Point Healthcare in Portland. And so there they are actively working with providers such as physicians and nurses and really helping to forward the health of the public. And you as students will have many opportunities to be engaged in that clinical setting. So I encourage all of you in the class of 2018 to take advantage of the faculty within the department. We're here to help you succeed. And finally, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the staff within the department. And so Pauline Dombrowick, Elizabeth Huntley, and Carrie Snyder, some of whom are here today. And really, the department could not succeed without the efforts of these individuals, and so they should especially be acknowledged. So with that, I would like to ask the faculty and staff of the Department of Pharmacy Practice to stand and be acknowledged. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. In addition to the strong basic science, clinical and social science foundation in contemporary pharmacy education, Our student pharmacists will spend 1/3 of their educational efforts in opportunities to improve their professional practice through a series of introductory and advanced pharmacy practice experiences. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Dr. James Krebs, Assistant Dean, Experiential Education, who will tell you about the activities of that office and introduce members of his staff. Dr. Krebs?
Welcome, everyone. As Dr. Woodward said, we do, in a sense, coordinate or provide about 1/3 of the experiences for the students. I think our students are learning, what is experiential education, but some of you may not know. So it is experiential, it's not experimental. So we're not doing anything, experiences on you and your friends and children and such. So experiential is they're gaining experiences, or they're learning how to practically apply the skills that they learned in the classroom out into the workforce. So therefore, when our students graduate, they have the skills needed to be successful in the workforce. So what do is, we coordinate over about 1,700 hours of experience for them, about 300 hours in the first 3 years, and then another about 1,440 might be the magic number in their final year. So what that really means for my staff in the background is what maybe students and families don't realize is what we're really doing is we're creating collaborations and partnerships with people just not in Maine and New England, but throughout the U.S. and throughout the world who want to partner with the College of Pharmacy. They want to know what they need to do to make our students successful. So they're provided a syllabus, the objectives, and we provide education on what our students need to learn when they're working out on their experiences, which sometimes are called clinical rotations or internships. So I have an incredible staff that is dedicated to all of our students. In the class of 2018, we'll get to know each of us pretty intimately through all the interactions over the next 3 years in our office. Again, I want to say that I have an incredible office of 5 people that I would like to recognize individually. If we could give them a hand after I introduce them. So first of all, we have Amber Windler. If you could stand, Amber. Amber's a staff assistant who is amazing, and she's a real go-to person for our students. She does a lot of work in the background that people don't see, and I really value Amber's service. Beside her is Joanne Wood. Joanne is the newest member in our office. She's been there about 1.5 years. And another person who really makes the office run smoothly. She works on our agreements, our clinical affiliations with our partners throughout the world. Next, I want to recognize Dawn Hemphill. So our students will engage with Don a lot throughout the next 4 years as well, and he is our coordinator in the office, so he is working again with all of our partners. And finally is Ms. Lynn Kopak. Lynn is our Assistant Director for Experiential Education, who has worked tirelessly from the beginning with me in the college about 6 years ago. I guess one thing I want to add that you guys may not see what's going on in the background is primarily Don, Lynn, and I, that we're traversing all over New England and throughout the world, making partnerships, establishing relationships. We're visiting our students on site to say, are they being successful, and what can we do to make them successful? You'll see us in and out of the office, but you may think I'm not working sometimes, guys, but I'm out and about. So I wish you much luck, and I'll see a lot of you over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Krebs. What Dr. Krebs didn't mention is that he also teaches our students how to tie bow ties. Thank you so much. I'm going to go off script just for a second because both Drs. Allen and Krebs talked about our staff at the College of Pharmacy. They are our backbone. You know how effective you are without a backbone, right? Well, our staff, our administrative staff, really make things run smoothly at the college. And they are the ones who establish the sense of community at the college. And I want to acknowledge them all. They're sitting in the back over there. Some of them introduced already. If you could please stand, and we'd like to acknowledge them. They often are sitting in the back and they get overlooked, and I didn't want to miss this opportunity to recognize them this morning. At this time, I'd like to ask the faculty and staff to please stand. I'd like to say a few words to the students regarding our faculty and staff. Faculty and staff, please stand. Students, our faculty and staff are here to help you discover your talents and skills as independent learners and student pharmacists. They are a great resource for you. I encourage you to get to know these wonderful, caring individuals who are committed to making you the best that you can be. And during your time at the college, I ask you to get to know them one-on-one. And as Dean Brazeau often mentions, she often gives you the task of, you need to get to know at least one new person each semester. And I charge you that task as well. Would the audience please join me for a round of applause for the members of our faculty and staff. Thank you very much. It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you the keynote speakers. We have two of them today. What a pleasure, two for the price of one. And it's not a coincidence that their names are the same, their last names are the same. We have Dr. Alex Adams and Dr. Jennifer Athay Adams with us today to share a few words of wisdom. I'd first like to introduce Dr. Alex Adams. Dr. Alex J. Adams is Vice President of Pharmacy Programs for the National Association of Chain Drugstores, affectionately known as NACDS. He received his Bachelor of Science and Doctor of Pharmacy degrees from the University of Toledo, where he received the distinction of graduating as the class valedictorian. As VP of Pharmacy Programs, he leads the development of pharmacy programming initiatives for the association's pharmacy care and patient advocacy departments, exploring innovative services for pharmacy within the emerging healthcare system. In addition, he is responsible for the organization's public health and preparedness of efforts and leads the research efforts of the NACDS Foundation, working with a $5 million portfolio to further one of the foundation's core missions of advancing public health through research to help improve patient health and quality of life, which includes pharmacy-based point-of-care testing, medication adherence interventions, and pharmacy services following hospital discharges in an effort to reduce hospital readmissions. Finally, Dr. Adams sits on the Institute of Medicine's Forum on Medical and Public Health Preparedness for Catastrophic Events and collaborates regularly with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Please welcome Dr. Adams.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Woodward, for the warm introduction, and thank you, Dean Brazeau, for the invitation to campus here. When the invitation was first extended, I first clarified to make sure they understood they were inviting this Adams family instead of some of the other ones you might be familiar with. But let me first start by welcoming the class of 2018 to the profession of pharmacy. And this ceremony, the white coat ceremony, is a rite of passage that symbolizes your transition from pharmacy student to student pharmacist. And that might seem very subtle, but let me assure you, it comes with major changes. Simply put, when you put on your white coats this morning, it conveys a powerful image to the public: trust, integrity, ethics. And with this comes great responsibility. So my goal this morning is to challenge you to think broadly about your newfound role as a member of the pharmacy profession and the patients that we serve. So this morning I'd like to illustrate three major points. First, times they are a-changin'. Second, together we must commit to advancing the future of pharmacy. And third, we must deserve victory, and I'll elaborate. So first, times they are a-changing. Well, as a fourth-generation pharmacist, I often joke that my blood type is RX positive. Dad, Grandpa, and great-grandpa were all pharmacists, and I'm proud to carry on their rich tradition. So, with apologies to Walt Disney, I like to think about my family's pharmacy history through the lens of the carousel of progress. So for those of you who have been to Disney's Tomorrowland, the basic premise is a ride with 6 scenes, each of which follows a family through the 20th century. And as the ride revolves, the scenes reveal the progress and technological advances that come with time, invoking both futurism and nostalgia. So for my pharmacy carousel of progress, I set the first scene in 1913 when my great-grandfather Adams graduated from pharmacy school. And of course, I have to wonder, how hard could it have been back then? There were only 2 drugs on the market. The next scene, I sit at Adams Pharmacy in the 1930s, and it's reminiscent of the old Norman Rockwell painting, where there's a bookish pharmacist compounding a product with his mortar and pestle next to his resplendent Remington principles of pharmacology. And the pharmacy is probably known more for its soda fountain than it is for its prescription services. So in the interest of time, I'll skip ahead to scene 5, which is set in present day when I am practicing as a pharmacist. And there's certainly been quite a bit of changes. The Doctor of Pharmacy is now the entry-level degree for the profession. The compounding certainly taken a back seat to product distribution, but direct patient care services are starting to gain traction. If you look in a lot of pharmacies, you'll now see patient consultation rooms where pharmacists in their freshly pressed white coat, as I know you all will maintain yours, provide immunizations to patients in need. And then the carousel of progress turns to its 6th and final scene, which by now I'm sure you're all getting goosebumps. And the scene is set in a year that I'll call 20 tomorrow. It's a year when you will all be practicing pharmacist in the thick of your burgeoning careers. And what will that 20 tomorrow look like? And most importantly, what will that 20 tomorrow look like relative to today? Today, 2014, your first day as a member of the pharmacy profession, you'll look back and this will be your measuring stick. And you'll look back and you'll say one of 2 things. Wow, pharmacy practice in 2014, that was so primitive. Or you'll look back and you'll say, wow, pharmacy practice in 2014, those were the good old days. Change is guaranteed to happen, but change can go in either direction, and not all change is progress. Take, for example, the story of the blacksmith. In the 19th century, moms used to prod their children to going into blacksmithing. Horses will always need shoes, was the conventional logic, but that didn't necessarily take into account the future planes, trains, and automobiles that were the byproduct of the Industrial Revolution. So my goal this morning is not to scare you. In fact, I come bearing great news and great tidings. And if you want to know what the future of pharmacy will look like, I can tell you empirically. Pharmacy will become whatever people like us envision, and its advancement will reflect the energy with which you all engage. And that brings me to my second point. Together, we must commit to advancing the future of pharmacy. A few years ago, national pharmacy associations met in frigid hotel ballrooms in Washington, D.C., to set out a clear and cohesive vision for the future of pharmacy practice. They released a statement that said, pharmacists will be the healthcare professionals responsible for providing patient care that ensures optimal medication therapy outcomes. And I will repeat that for clarity. Pharmacists will be the healthcare professional responsible for providing patient care that ensures optimal medication therapy outcomes. Together, we must commit to advancing this vision for the future of pharmacy practice. Without such a commitment, advancement simply will not occur. I want to share with you one story regarding the power of vision. As many of you know, shortly after becoming president, John F. Kennedy challenged the nation with putting a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth within a decade. Well, you all know how this story ends, but one of the stories you might not have heard as much about is when the young president visited a NASA facility for the first time in 1961. As the story goes, the president reportedly met a man mopping one of the floors in the hallways, and the man was working very diligently, so the president stopped to chat with the man. He shook his hand, and the president asked what the man does for NASA. And the janitor proudly looked the president in the eye, and he said, "Sir, I'm helping to put a man on the moon." And the point of the story is that it illustrates everyone at NASA, regardless of position, is contributing in his or her own way to the ultimate vision of the organization. And the same must be true in pharmacy. As students today, you'll have unprecedented opportunities on your rotations and in your student leadership experiences to be visible to patients, and you have the choice to embody the vision of pharmacy in each and every patient encounter. You and only you can answer the question as you drive home each night: what did I do today to advance the vision for the future of pharmacy practice? Together, and only together, can we achieve the vision. And that brings me to my third and final point. We must deserve victory. To truly practice at the top of our education and ensure the final scene in your pharmacy carousel of progress is one that's worthy of your talents, your skills, and your passion, we must deserve victory. There's an old saying that there's two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist or accept the responsibility for changing them. And the conditions as they exist are that of an approaching storm, ushered in partly by the Affordable Care Act, or otherwise known as Obamacare. Yes, this is an extremely polarizing issue, but let's separate the politics of it from the moment and look at the facts as it relates to the practice of pharmacy. Up to 30 million new patients will be coming into the healthcare system over the coming years. And as these floodgates open, there's no new additional physicians to care for them. 18,000 new IRS agents to tax them, but no new additional physicians to care for them. Not to mention the number of U.S. medical students entering primary care has dropped by more than 50% over the past decade. So the healthcare system generally, and the profession of pharmacy more specifically, thus needs to change. And as a profession, we must accept the responsibility for such a change. One of our biggest assets in pharmacy is the accessibility. NACDS is a trade association, represents chains of pharmacies, and there is a pharmacy within 5 miles of 95% of all Americans. And you're already seeing the power of that accessibility in action. 1 in 4 adults have had a vaccine in a pharmacy in just this past year alone. And I know in 2014 it might be hard for some of the students in here to recall a time when pharmacies didn't give a vaccine, but please know that this has just relatively taken off recently in May 2009. But vaccines are just the tip of the iceberg. By the time you graduate, you will have more training in pharmacotherapy than any other health profession in the world. You will be the medication expert on the pharmacist team, and think about the possibilities when you combine the accessibility of the pharmacist with the medication expertise of the pharmacist. Let me just give you one example of something that's happening already today. In some states, such as Michigan, Minnesota, and Nebraska, patients with flu-like illness can come into the pharmacy at any time without an appointment and get a rapid diagnostic test from the pharmacist. If the patient tests positive for flu, the pharmacist can start the appropriate antiviral in the store that day without the need for a prescription from the physician. And as you'll soon learn in your classes, flu has a critical 48-hour window of treatment, and thus the model can improve access to care while speeding time to treatment for patients. But perhaps most importantly, as had been mentioned by a previous speaker, antibiotic resistance is now a global public health emergency fueled by overuse and misuse of antibiotics and antivirals. In the model, the pharmacist equipped with a diagnostic test as well as his or her medication expertise is well versed and is able to ensure the optimal use of antibiotics and antivirals, combating the scourge of resistance. So this is just one example of an advanced pharmacy practice model that exists today. And I'm sure if you all close your eyes, you can envision new practice models that hold even more potential for the future. With the way technology is developing, the sky is certainly the limits. But to seize this window of opportunity, it's going to take all of us embodying and advocating for the future vision of pharmacy practice today and every day as a member of the pharmacy profession. Simply put, we must deserve victory. We must practice every day at the top of our education and the top of our training, not the bottom of our licenses. So I don't know about you, but I'm certainly fired up about the profession of pharmacy. And while the times around us are challenging, the opportunities are certainly invigorating. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here with you all today, your first day as a member of the profession, to talk about the work that lies ahead. And I'll close by asking you to just remember, when it comes to advancing the practice of pharmacy, it's going to take all of us working together forever, beginning now. Will you join me? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adams. That's a nice challenge for us, isn't it? I'd like to introduce the better half. Is that how I should call it? All joking aside, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jennifer Adams to the podium. Jen Adams is a graduate of Boise State University. She received a PharmD from Idaho State University and an EDD from the George Washington University. She's currently employed as Senior Director of Strategic Academic Partnerships at the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, where she provides leadership and oversight for new program and partnership development, as well as strategic planning for the association. Dr. Adams also provides strategic guidance for national student affairs activities and programs, including the Pharmacy College Application Service, affectionately PharmCast to those of you, and the Pharmacy College Admissions Test, the PCAT. You all remember that. And of course, the Pharmacy Career Information Council. She has previous experience working in both hospital and community pharmacy settings and at the American Pharmacists Association with student pharmacists, helping them to develop as professionals and as leaders in the pharmacy profession. Dr. Adams' experience at APHA includes developing and managing several national patient care programs, as well as the National Patient Counseling Competition. She has received national awards in recognition of her leadership skills. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Adams.
Well, thank you, Dr. Woodward. It's a pleasure and honor to be here with you today. And for those of you in the audience, please don't hold PCAT or PharmCast against me. So now that you guys have been inspired by my smart, and I might say also dashingly handsome husband, let's talk about another important attribute that you'll need throughout your career: professionalism. Or in other words, what it means to be a professional who is part of a profession. My hope is that I can outline what it means to be a part of the pharmacy profession so that you will all be able to accomplish the goal that was just set for you by Alex of advancing the practice of pharmacy. So to begin, I would like to pose a few questions. First, what does it mean to be a professional or to display professionalism in pharmacy? Second, is professionalism in pharmacy different from professionalism in other professions? And third, when should you learn about professionalism as a component of your PharmD curriculum, and when is professionalism needed? A number of years ago, the AACP Council of Deans and student leaders from the American Pharmacists Association Academy of Student Pharmacists convened a task force, and the goal of this task force was to answer some of these questions that I've outlined. And the work of this group resulted in a white paper that was published in 2000 in the Journal of the American Pharmacists Association. And although it was nearly 15 years ago, the information presented in that white paper is still true today. And I would encourage all of you to read and study that white paper to determine how you might answer these questions if you were a student pharmacist serving on that task force today. So search that article out and do what you can to really learn what's listed there. So now let's focus on those questions that I posed. First, what does it mean to be a professional or to display professionalism in pharmacy specifically? According to the white paper, the attitudes and behaviors that comprise professionalism cannot be learned from a textbook or from a lecture. Rather, they must be actively acquired and inculcated through the process of professional socialization, or professionalization, which is the process of instilling a profession's attitudes, values, and behaviors within a professional, with their ultimate goal of developing professionalism. You see how they all sort of fit together? So in essence, what we're doing here today is the beginning of your own personal professionalization into the profession of pharmacy. There are 10 traits included in these professional attitudes and behaviors that you're going to learn while you're here attending the PharmD program at the University of New England. And these 10 traits are, number 1, knowledge, and skills of a profession. You have to start out by learning all the foundational knowledge that you can while you're in pharmacy school, so you have what you need that is necessary to be a pharmacist. Number 2, commitment to self-improvement of skills and knowledge. You're going to hear this a lot. I think I've already heard it today, and you're going to hear it a lot through the time that you're in your PharmD program. But you need to be committed to becoming a lifelong learner. It doesn't just stop when you graduate. You will be continually learning. The profession of pharmacy is always changing, and you need to be able to keep up with those changes. Number 3 is a service orientation. The health professions are all serving professions. And I don't know about you guys, but if you had asked me when I was still trying to figure out why I wanted to be a pharmacist, I would have told you because I want to be able to help people. How many of you guys put that in your personal statement in PharmCast? And for those that didn't see, almost every one of them raised their hand. So you have to have a service orientation to be a pharmacist. Number 4, pride in the profession. As you learn and grow through the pharmacy program here at UNE, you will learn about what it means to be a pharmacist and the role that the pharmacist plays on the healthcare team. You will learn that as a medication expert, your role is vital to improving quality patient care. Number 5 is a covenantal relationship with the patient. A covenant is a two-way promise. In pharmacy, the patient promises to trust the pharmacist and follow their advice, and in exchange, the pharmacist promises to help each individual patient to achieve optimal outcomes for their medications and to maintain the patient's trust. Number 6, creativity and innovation. You just heard a lot from Alex about how innovation is going to be very important for you to advance the practice of pharmacy. But in the ever-changing world of healthcare, creativity and innovation are absolutely essential. As you learn about the role of the pharmacist, I would challenge you to please try to think outside the box and develop your creativity so that you come up with innovative solutions to the problems that exist in healthcare today. Number 7, conscience and trustworthiness. This is possibly one of the most important traits for a pharmacist. It only takes one pharmacist who does not uphold this standard to destroy the trust that society has placed on pharmacists. We must all work together to be honest and trustworthy in order to maintain the trust of our patients and the public. Number 8, accountability for his or her work. The trait of accountability is important not only when you're in school, but even more so when you are in practice, because you are accountable not only to your employer, but to each and every patient that you serve. And I would posit that while you're in school, you'll be accountable to your classmates, but you'll also have this accountability when you work as an intern or as a technician in a pharmacy while you're in school, and then again when you're in practice. Number 9, ethically sound decision-making. As a pharmacist, you are bound by a code of ethics, which can be found on pharmacist.com for those that are interested in looking that up. Similar to conscience and trustworthiness, ethically sound decision-making is an important trait that is necessary to maintain the trust given to us by our patients. And number 10, leadership. As a pharmacist, you will be a leader in your workplace, your community, and on the healthcare team. I encourage you to seek as many opportunities while you can in school to develop yourself as a leader. These skills will benefit you tremendously after you graduate. Now that you're familiar with all of these 10 traits of a professional, I challenge each of you as you navigate your pharmacy education to be observant and seek out opportunities to develop and improve upon these traits so that you can become the pharmacy professional that you, your family, and society can be proud of and feel safe placing their trust in. So our second question was, is professionalism in pharmacy different than professionalism that's found in other professions? So as you are pondering the traits I just described, could they be applied to a nurse or a physician or even a lawyer? I would posit that yes, these traits could be applied to other professions. If you change the word patient to client in the covenantal relationship, it could very easily apply to the profession of law. However, the key distinction and the way that each profession makes these traits their own is through trait number 4, pride in the profession. Each profession has to understand their role in society and take ownership of their responsibilities. Each profession also has to take each of these traits and apply them to their role, as we've done today. To answer this question, if the traits of professionalism are same in the other health professions, will help you to really understand those that you will work with when you provide team-based care as a student and as a practicing pharmacist. So question number 3, when should you learn about professionalism as a component of your PharmD curriculum, and when is professionalism needed? Starting today, you are all members of the pharmacy profession and officially now student pharmacists. You have already begun to learn about professionalism and have begun your own personal professionalization. You will continue to learn about what it means to be a professional through your didactic and experiential learning while you're in pharmacy school. You will also learn about professionalism as you participate in student organizations and develop your skills as leaders. As you get to know your classmates, faculty, and even practicing pharmacists in the community, you may receive mixed messages about the professional aspects of pharmacy practice and what it means to be a professional. As you experience these mixed messages, please keep in mind that professionalization is not a passive process, but rather a responsibility that you must take upon yourself, starting now. Learn from both the positives and the negatives that you will experience, and remember that professionalization is a lifelong process that will occur throughout your career. I would bet that even Dean Brazeau is continually striving to be a better pharmacy professional and on improving her professionalism, as am I. You may also make mistakes along the way, and I would encourage you to take responsibility for those mistakes and commit to improving yourself as a professional so that they don't ever happen again. So when is it important to be a professional? Always. How many of you had somebody ask you a medication-related question as soon as they knew you were accepted into pharmacy school? Me too. It was an eye-opening experience for me to learn that so quickly my friends and family placed their trust in me as a member of the pharmacy profession, and I hadn't even been to my first class yet. Ooh, that was a little scary. But I think this really illustrates the importance of displaying professionalism and representing the profession of pharmacy at all times. As you take the Student Pharmacist Pledge of Professionalism today, one of the things that you will pledge to do is to incorporate into your life and practice a dedication to excellence. This means that we must strive for excellence and professionalism at all times. It will take all of us in the profession to be dedicated in our lives and in our practices to maintain the trust that society has placed in us as pharmacists. Will you join me and your faculty and administrators in striving for professional excellence? Welcome to the profession of pharmacy.
Thank you, Doctors Adams, for your words of wisdom and for your challenges to this class. We now have an alumna of the class of 2014, Michelle O'Mara, Dr. O'Mara, to come to say a few words of welcome to the profession. Dr. O'Mara?
Thank you, Dr. Woodward. It's nice to hear that, Dr. O'Mara. So good morning, class of 2018. You have made it. You're sitting here at your white coat ceremony in front of your friends, your family, a whole bunch of people you don't know, your current and future professors, staff, and administration. So many people would do anything to be where you are right now. Making sure you bought the right books, worried about the next exam, and wondering on which path your pharmacy career is going to take you. As many people will say to you today, congratulations. You've worked hard to get here, I know. You've sat through the scary interview process, PharmCAS, the PCATs, and now you've started to get into a routine, figuring out your classes and your labs in your P1 year. And although we just met, let me be one of the first people to officially welcome you into our UNE College of Pharmacy family. Now, let's get back to business. As your official alumni speaker today, I'm supposed to stand here and give you advice like, make the most of these next 4 years and stay positive, it's gonna go by so fast. Well, I know that you already know all of this, and you'll have plenty of people to remind you of that over the next few years. And I know that the real information you want from me is, whose class do I need to study for the most? What kind of questions does Dr. So-and-so like to put on their exams? And what's gonna be on the NAPLAX? And to answer those briefly, Dr. House connects Pharmacology 1 class and Biochemistry with Dr. Hills. K-type questions will be your worst enemy, and the NAPLAX will ask you anything under the sun. So, inspired by a couple of your classmates, Emily Sampson and Sam Cushing, I've kind of narrowed it down to 3 pieces of advice that I'd like to give you from a 2014 graduate. Number 1, as has already said before, get to know your professors. Each faculty and staff member at the College of Pharmacy has a unique pharmacy background that ultimately led them here to Maine at UNE. They will serve as an invaluable source of information regarding rotation opportunities, national pharmaceutical organizations and conferences, and, of course, pharmacy knowledge. So you have them at your disposal for the next 4 years. Get to know them, appreciate the dedication that they have to your education, and take away as much as you can from them. Number 2, treat every rotation like it's an interview. No joke. Building a strong network through your rotations and school experiences early on will help you when the time comes to choose your career. You never know who's going to be your future coworkers, your colleagues, your supervisors, but they may remember you because of your professionalism and dedication as a UNE College of Pharmacy student. And lastly, be a team. The competition is over. You've all made it here. You've acquired the coveted spot in the UNE College of Pharmacy class of 2018, and now it's up to all of you to help each other succeed. My friend, who was the valedictorian of our class of 2014, Sarah DeRaps-Brulette, made a speech at our hooding ceremony about how sharing is caring. She said that she wouldn't have had the honor and distinction of that position without the constant sharing of notes, quizzing before exams, and support she got from fellow classmates. It's now up to you to help each other succeed. So remember, number 1, get to know your professors. Number 2, treat every rotation like it's an interview. And number 3, act as a team. Congratulations on the beginning of your pharmacy school journey, and once again, welcome to the UNE College of Pharmacy family.
Thank you, Dr. O'Meara. And thanks to everyone who have kind of set the stage for what it's like to be a professional in the College of Pharmacy and in the profession. At this time, we're going to start the white coat ceremony itself. White coat ceremonies have been used by schools of medicine and pharmacy as outward signs of an inward and personal commitment to the profession. The white coat has had a long association with all things medical, scientific, and healing. It also is associated with the attributes of purity and goodness. It has been a symbol of the trust that patients have towards pharmacists that dates back to the apothecary days and continues to the present days of providing pharmaceutical care, medication therapy management, disease prevention, and wellness promotion. The profession of pharmacy is one that demands adherence to a set of ethical principles. These high ideals are necessary to ensure the high quality of care our patients entrust us to provide, and it is a trusting relationship. So we must remember that it is a privilege to be involved in patient care, and with that privilege comes many, many responsibilities. Our Dean's Ambassadors will lead the class of 2018 to the stage to my left, to my right, to your left. I get confused. Dr. Rosenthal will introduce each student as they proceed to the center of the stage to receive a white, or to have their white coat put on them. Dr. Allen and Sutton and I will help each student put on the coat, and Dean Brazeau will shake each student's hand and provide a copy of the Pledge of Professionalism to each student. We will have a professional photographer take a picture of each student at that time, so be prepared to smile. Guests, you're welcome to come forward once your student, spouse, son, daughter, to take a picture at that time. The students should then return to their seats and be seated after the photographs have been taken. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all students have returned to their seats. Will the first row of student pharmacists please rise and approach the stage? Dr. Rosenthal, please introduce the students.
Mr. Cody Black from St. George, Utah, has an Associate of Science degree from the University of Dixie. Ashley Chase from Sandwich, Massachusetts. Gabrielle Lipman from Newburyport, Massachusetts, who has a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology. Janelle Calpe from Chicago, Illinois, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biological Sciences from Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville. And Jory Jane from Derby, Connecticut, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology from the University of Connecticut. Catherine Rogers from Annapolis, Maryland, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology from Washington College. Amanda Powers from Ticonderoga, New York, has a Bachelor of Arts degree in Molecular Biology and Biochemistry from Middlebury College. Jennifer Cormier from Glenburn, Maine. Ellie Morissette from Oakland, Maine. Joanna Meza from Live Oak, Florida. Casey Hutchinson from Raymond, Maine. Angela Ruggiero from Plymouth, Massachusetts, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science and a Bachelor of Arts degree in Psychology from the University of Massachusetts, Amherst. Amanda Klein from Richmond, Virginia, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemistry from Virginia Commonwealth University. Stephanie Brown from Warwick, Rhode Island. Ashley Calder from New Boston, New Hampshire. Kaylee Paulus from Salisbury, Massachusetts. Eric Pure from Alfred, Maine. Woo! Hallie Perrin from Putnam, Connecticut. Drew Turner from Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Samuel McNally from Waterboro, Maine, has a Bachelor of Arts degree in History from the University of Maine, Orono, and a Master's of Arts in Historical Studies from the University of Cape Town. Christopher Villar from Loxahatchee, Florida. Joseph Parisi from Chester, New Hampshire. Liam Lombard from Dover, New Hampshire. Molly Orlando from Malone, New York, has a Bachelor of Arts degree in English from State University of New York in Fredonia. Brittany Schaffner from Louisville, Kentucky, has an associate's degree in Jefferson Community and Technical College. Go Cardinals. Yannick Switek from Gorham, Maine. Kelly Sawyer from Pembroke, Maine. Kayla Harris from Hodgson, Maine. Whitney Sargent from Millbridge, Maine. Victoria Bridges from Falmouth, Maine, has a Bachelor in Arts degree in General Science with minors in Business, Biology, and Biochemistry from the University of Southern Maine. Haley Holt from Skowhegan, Maine. Christina Fields from South Portland, Maine, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biochemistry and Medical Biology from the University of New England. Marina Izzy from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, went to the University of New England undergraduate pre-pharmacy program in Biddeford. Lindsay Coates from Whitman, Massachusetts, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemistry from Salve Regina University. Ian Greenstein from Acton, Massachusetts. Tyler Rue from Fort Kent, Maine, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Biology and Medical Sciences from the University of New England. Beth Pay from Milton, New Hampshire, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Biology from the University of New England. Peter John Trapp from Piermont, New Hampshire. Stephen Eliandri from Woodbury, Connecticut. Charles Jones from Derry, New Hampshire, has a degree in biology from Norwich University. Kevin N. Tran from Los Angeles, California, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Human Biology from the University of California in San Diego. James Tran from Tampa, Florida, has a Bachelor of Arts in Biomedical Sciences from the University of South Florida. Hassan Musada from Miami, Florida, has an AA degree in pre-pharmacy from Miami-Dade College. Jean Amazon from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, has a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry from Temple University. Jennifer Nguyen from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, has an AS degree in Science for Health Professions from Delaware County Community College. Aaron Wong from Los Angeles, California, has a Bachelor of Arts in Integrative Biology from the University of California, Berkeley. Roxana Marieri from Port Jefferson Station, New York, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemistry and Health Sciences. Eric Zarnick from Valencia, California, was in the pre-pharmacy program at the University of New England. Alamgir Chaudhary from Jamaica, New York, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology from St. John's University. Aaron Tang from Anaheim, California, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biochemistry and Cell Biology from the University of California in San Diego. Kevin K. Tran from Orange County, California, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biological Sciences from the University of California, Irvine. Kathy Ng from Torrance, California, has a Bachelor degree of Natural Science in Human Biology from the University of California in Merced. Manpreet Bodwal from Boston, Massachusetts has a Bachelor of Science degree in Pharmaceutical Sciences from the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy. Charlene Pham from Midway City, California has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biological Sciences from the University of California in Irvine. Diana Alka from Marion, Connecticut is in the pre-pharmacy program at the University of Connecticut. Caitlin Sumner from Bethel, Maine. Brianna Compton from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania has a Bachelor of Science degree in Health Sciences from the University of Sciences in Philadelphia, the oldest college of pharmacy in the country. Holly Tain from Scottsdale, Arizona has a Bachelor of Science degree in Family Studies and Human Development at the University of Arizona. Megan McAnally from California has a Bachelor of Arts in Biology from California State University in Northridge, California. Rachel McDevitt from Underhill, Vermont. Kaylee Mather from Miramichi, New Brunswick, Canada. Brian Roski from South Berwick, Maine. Samantha Shannon, all the way from Portland, Maine. Samantha Briggs from Oakland, Maine. Emily Sampson from Cumberland, Maine. Paige Desereau from Barre, Vermont. Connor Alcide from Longdale, North Carolina, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Health and Exercise Science. Christopher Bishop from Hollis, New Hampshire, has a Bachelor in Arts in Chemistry from St. Anselm College. Azrat Danico from Dallas, Texas, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology from the University of Texas, Arlington. Jonathan Castillo from Clifton, New Jersey, has a Bachelor in Science degree from Fairleigh Dickinson University. Songyun Moon from Ann Arbor, Michigan, has a Bachelor in Science and Biology from the University of Michigan. Ahmed Mohammed from Baghdad, Iraq, graduated from Springfield Technical Community College. Michael McMahon from Center Rutland, Vermont. Anthony Gudo from Wilton, New York. Kyle Hedquist from Tempe, Arizona, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Kinesiology from Arizona State University. Matthew Kennelly from Hopedale, Massachusetts, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. Dean Concanon from Framingham, Massachusetts. Patrick Bride from Portland, Maine, has a Bachelor in Science degree in Medical Biology from the University of New England. Dylan Brown from South Plymouth, New York, has a Bachelor in Science degree in Biochemistry from Canisius College in Buffalo, New York, as well as a Master's degree in Business Administration, also from Canisius. Solangel Cordova from Boston, Massachusetts. Eugene Ajay from Baltimore, Maryland, has a Bachelor in Science degree in Chemistry from Towson University, Towson, Maryland. Jennifer Bofa from Spring Valley, New York, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Neuroscience from Binghamton University. Amelia Farnham from Clinton, Connecticut, went to Southern Connecticut State University. Alexis Plattner from LaGrange, New York, has a Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry from the State University of New York at Potsdam. Danielle Thiel from Rochester, New York, has an associate's degree in liberal arts and sciences from Alfred State University and a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Biology, the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry. Samuel Cushing from Scarborough, Maine, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Biology from the University of New England. Roddy Nguyen from Boston, Massachusetts, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Pharmaceutical Sciences from the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Maurice Bailey from Rochester, New York, has an Associate's degree in Fine Arts from Monroe Community College, a Bachelor in Science and Biomedical Science from Rochester Institute of Technology, and an MLS certification, again from Rochester General Hospital School of Medical Technology. Yang Nguyen from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yenming Chen from San Diego, California, has a Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences from the University of California in Irvine. Dylan Lim from Cortland, New York, has a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from the Rochester Institute of Technology. Shazwat Korala from Germantown, Maryland, has an associate's degree in life sciences from Montgomery College in Rockville, Maryland. Sarah Nguyen from Sacramento, California, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biochemistry from the University of California in Davis. Helen Nguyen from San Diego, California, has a Bachelor of Science degree in Psychology from the University of California, San Diego. Kelly Frazier from Canton, Connecticut. Fong Zhang from Sacramento, California, has a Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry from California State University in Stanislaus, California. Amy Matson from Groton, Massachusetts, was in the pre-pharmacy program at the University of New England. Jennifer Brown from Madison, Maine, was in the pre-pharmacy program at the University of New England. Taylor Porter from Camden, Maine, was in the pre-pharmacy program at the University of New England. Devin Stuber from Madison, Maine, was in the pre-pharmacy program at the University of New England. Juhi Kang from Los Angeles, California, has a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry from the University of California in Los Angeles. Ida Wynn from Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, studied chemistry at Lehigh University. Allison Liu from San Francisco, California, has a Bachelor of Science in Human Biology with an emphasis in human health from the University of California in Merced. Shay Ryan from Rochester, New York, is an EMTB from Monroe Community College. That concludes that part. Congratulations to all of you. Welcome to pharmacy.
You came in good looking, you're even better looking now. Now we at a point where you're to profess your commitment to the profession, and we have Dr. Wallace Marsh to lead you in the oath or the Pledge of Professionalism. Dr. Marsh.
Thank you, Dr. Woodward. Our first Dr. Adams speaker talked about today being your transition from pharmacy student to student pharmacist. You've taken one of those steps in receiving your white coat. Our second Dr. Adams speaker talked to you about the 10 characteristics of a professional. It is now my honor to lead you in the next step in that transition process with with the Pledge of Professionalism. You were given that copy by Dean Brizeau. For the audience, it's printed in the program if you would like to follow along. Students, at this time, you will be reciting the pledge with me. It's very difficult to keep 104 of you together at once, so at the end of each sentence, we will pause momentarily just to get everyone caught up and keep it together as best we can. So at this time, students, please rise. Please raise your right hand and recite with me the Pledge of Professionalism. As a student of pharmacy, I believe there is a need to build and reinforce a professional identity founded on integrity, ethical behavior, and honor. This development, a vital process in my education, will help ensure that I am true to member of the pharmacy community. Integrity will be essential part of everyday life, and I will pursue all academic and professional endeavors with honesty and commitment to service. To accomplish this professional development, as a student of pharmacy, I will develop a sense of loyalty and duty to the profession by contributing to the well-being of others and by enthusiastically accepting the responsibility and accountability for membership in the profession. Foster professional competency through lifelong learning. I will strive for high ideals, teamwork, and unity within the profession in order to provide optimal patient care. Support my colleagues by actively encouraging professional commitment to the oath of a pharmacist and the code of ethics for pharmacists as set forth by the profession. Dedicate my life and practice to excellence. This will require an ongoing reassessment of personal and professional values. Maintain the highest ideals and professional attributes to ensure and facilitate the covenantal relationship required of the pharmaceutical caregiver. The profession of pharmacy is one that demands adherence to a set of ethical principles. These high ideals are necessary to ensure the quality of care extended to the patients I serve. As a student of pharmacy, I believe this does not start with graduation. Rather, it begins with my membership in this professional college community. Therefore, I will strive to uphold this pledge as I advance toward full membership in the profession. I voluntarily make this pledge of professionalism. Thank you. Before entering a full year of clinical practice and advanced pharmacy practice rotations during their 4th year, these student pharmacists will again be asked to recite this pledge in a transition ceremony. Here on stage with us, over on the side, is the pledge signed by each student, which will be hung in the college as a reminder of the pledge that they made today. Please join me in congratulating our new student pharmacists in the class of 2018.
Thank you, Dr. Marsh. Dr. Krebs, would you please come to the podium to officially welcome the class of 2018 to the profession? Dr. James Krebs is the Assistant Dean of Experiential Education and Assistant Professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice, and he has been, I want to say, anointed or appointed.
Don't say I'm annoying.
You're annoying. To be the faculty advisor for the class of 2018. In his role, he will provide guidance to the class officers and students for the 4 years the students are enrolled in the Doctor of Pharmacy program. Dr. Krebs?
Great. Hello, class of 2018. I'm honest when I say that it's a real pleasure to be here today. I've been with the university for a little bit over 6 years, and this year I felt it was really my time to step up and be the class advisor. Because you may not know this, but I actually reviewed almost all your applications. I interviewed many of you, as you may recall, and I played a role in probably every single one of you in your decision to be admitted. Therefore, I felt it was really appropriate for me to be your class advisor. And I'm thrilled to welcome you to the UNE College of Pharmacy. As a prospective student stepping on campus for the first time, maybe in a really frigid, cold winter day, I think you knew that the moment you arrived that this could be your place. I think there's a big difference between looking at UNE, say, online, to the difference of actually walking from the College of Pharmacy over to the Abplanalp Library. And I think there's a huge difference in hearing our student ambassadors during the interview process chat about their experience at the college during the interview day, to actually spending maybe days, nights, weekends, sometimes 24/7 at the college. But once you're here, I think you'll know that you're home. And I said you could really ask probably about any P2, P3, P4, and now our alumni. I want to remind you that the classrooms, whether they're in Maine or in Morocco, or maybe in a plata in Spain, or in a laboratory or a slumber in Bangkok, maybe in Ghana or an experiential site in rural Maine, and perhaps the faculty offices and maybe the Old Port, that these are all places where incredible learning is going to occur. There'll be tremendous growth that occurs within. We understand that the university is an experience just about becoming a pharmacist. It's about building relationship between other students, faculty, staff, preceptors, and interacting with the global campus as a whole. It's a place where friendships are made, conversations happen, and ideas are explored. I encourage all of you to find your sense of place. You may ask, what is that? And I believe that a sense of place is a feeling that emerges when you immerse yourself into the local culture, experiencing everything that makes your surroundings unique. It's about using those surroundings to discover who you are and to grow into the person you want to become. Environments with strong identities and character make it easy to feel inspired, to generate new ideas, to create memories. Let UNE be one of those places. Wendell Berry famously said, if you don't know where you are, you don't know who you are. Many people in the 21st century, I believe, spend so much time online, in their cars, at Starbucks, or in an office that has little connection to any place unique. Again, this will not happen at UNE. We at the college, all of us, we charge you with finding your own sense of place by engaging in scholarly and service activities within the college and beyond. You can do this through many avenues. You can do this through initiated research and independent studies, or perhaps paid opportunities. I encourage you to explore global experiences in Morocco, in Thailand, in Spain, in Ghana, in Japan. I encourage you to explore student organizations. I encourage you to get involved in outreach activities like interprofessional education. I hope that each of you embrace and contribute to our community and make it your own. You have come from places as close as South Portland and as far as Ventura, California. You've come across the border from Miramichi, New Brunswick, Canada, and you've come across the pond from Iraq. You are all equally courageous to embark on just not 4 years of a rigorous education, but a lifetime of learning. You're accepting a huge responsibility to be a pharmacist and to provide exceptional care for many decades to come. I encourage all of you to be compassionate and gregarious. Don't be afraid to take risk. Greg Powell, who many of you may know, who's a former UNE trustee, provided a wonderful quote just this past May at the UNE commencement, and I believe that he clearly evokes the spirit of UNE in what he said. Greg says, UNE will always be a part of you, and you and all your life will always be a part of UNE. So, like your university, find your special place and purpose. Never settle, work hard, be ambitious and bold. Grow and change as the world changes. Be visionary, creative, passionate. Be UNE. I look forward to seeing all of you back here on stage at 2018. Work hard and we'll be here together. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Hold on. So I told you guys a few weeks ago, remember I needed ideas for writing the speech? Do you remember what I said? Were you listening? And what was I supposed to do? Someone speak out. Okay, you want a quote from Joan Rivers because she died about the time I was appointed class advisor. Is everyone ready? Are you sure? Okay. All right, hold on here. You sure you're ready? Is it okay, Dean Brazeau? All right, you guys know Joan Rivers, right? This is what I'm going to say. You've never heard this one, but I'm going to say it. Here we go. I have become my own version of an optimist. If I can't make it through one door, I'll go through another, or I'll make my own door. Something terrific will come no matter how dark the present. I know you weren't expecting that, okay? We'll save the other ones for later. All right, be well.
the great Western philosopher, right? Thank you so much, Dr. Krebs, for those encouraging words to the class of 2018. It's now my great pleasure to welcome the Dean of the College of Pharmacy, to the podium to say a few words. Dean Brazeau joined the college in 2010 from the University of Buffalo College of Pharmacy. She's in her 5th year of leadership at UNE, and her focus continues to be educating pharmacists for your team. Dean Brazeau.
Well, good afternoon, and I know that I'm between you and a beautiful 81-degree day here in Maine, so I hope you'll just have a little patience. We're almost to the end, but this is an important day. This is a day that we welcome our newest family members to the College of Pharmacy, so I'd just like to take a few minutes to kind of reflect a little bit about where I'd like to see each of you and go, and some thoughts of some advice. We couldn't do it. I do want to thank what I consider the first family of pharmacy. I've watched both of them. Alex's dad I went to college with, so it's a small world. And Jen, I've known since I've been a pharmacy educator. So these two are really remarkable people, and we brought them here because to show that you could be folks in the future. You could be sitting on the stage providing this. Dr. Krebs, what could we do without Dr. Krebs? He's articulate. He wears a great bow tie. He'll teach you how to do that while you're here. And Dr. O'Meara, we're so proud of you. You know, you are one that we'll always look to. She was an amazing student, and successful in so many ways. Thank you for coming. So, thank you. As Dean Woodward said, the University of New England College of Pharmacy is committed to the role in educating pharmacists that employers will want on their teams. As such, our curricular focus on educating pharmacists are centered on pharmacists that are involved in patient care in a team environment. We've heard a lot about the word teamwork. These are individuals that will provide service to the community where they work, live their profession. We've got examples on this stage. Dr. McCall has just finished a 4-year term as the president of the Maine Pharmacy Association. And you're going to practice using the best evidence and literature that professionals know. This white coat ceremony is more than a symbol. It is your introduction into the role as a healthcare provider and professional. You do have a privilege in this role to make a difference in someone's lives, be it helping them make healthy choices and lead healthy lives, or to assist with them in the use of their medications. This is truly a great privilege. You are matriculating into a professional doctoral program and into a professional career that will last many years beyond your time at the University of New England College of Pharmacy. As you've heard earlier, this is a unique opportunity and an honor that few are given. You should make the best of it. This is the start of a lifelong career of learning and growing, both professionally and personally. Pharmacy and your role as a healthcare provider on a healthcare team has infinite opportunities, some of which you may not even know or focusing on, and you may be some of those that implement these new roles. But I would always want you to have a focus on enhancing and improving the quality of life for your patients and their families. These are your patients and your extended families. Your education is not about our teaching and demonstrating, but about your lifelong learning and growing, developing the knowledge, skills, and values needed for your successful career as a pharmacist. I want you to prepare well and work hard so that you may have the greatest experience of your life while in the college and in the years to come. And I can say, starting my 5th year, this has truly been the best and greatest experiences of my life, being able to work with the University of New England College of Pharmacy. I want each of you to start with the end in mind. Specifically, what kind of pharmacist do you want to be? Whom will you seek for advice? How are you going to prepare yourself for this journey? And how will you know when you've reached your destination? I always want you to maintain your intellectual curiosity and scholarly drive while at the same time, I want you to be creative and I want you to have an entrepreneurial spirit. I want you to make a difference in pharmacy through your entrepreneurial spirit. I want you to be risk takers, willing to consider new ideas and opportunities in pharmacy and beyond. You've been with us for a few short weeks, and you're certainly aware of the level of difficulty of a professional doctoral curriculum. But if you work hard, it is certainly attainable, and more importantly, will become one of the most satisfying aspects of your life as you learn and grow each day. Yes, there will be challenges, and there will be times that you're discouraged, but there'll always be many great successes, and I want you to cherish those successes each day. I want you to embrace a philosophy of your life this is not just 4 years, but a start of professional life. It's not going to be long before you and your families are sitting here together to enjoy graduation. I still remember the white coat ceremony we had with Michelle. It just seemed like it flew by. I want you to make the best of it and enjoy each step along the way. While you're in the college, I always want you to do 3 things. I've told you this before. It's about working hard. It's about learning with passion. And it's also about enjoying life with enthusiasm. I also want to remind you with respect to excellence, we've heard about the importance of excellence from our outstanding speakers today. And it's about excellence in your professional and your personal life. And this is my favorite quote. Excellence can be obtained if you care more than others think is wise, risk more than others think is safe, dream more than others think is practical, and expect more than others think is possible. You must, and I want you to strive for excellence, whether it's in our classrooms, our laboratories, our clinics, your experiential education, or your personal life. At this time, I'd like to turn to the parents, friends, family, spouses, sisters, brothers, grandmothers, grandfathers. These student pharmacists will need your support now more than ever. They recognize that they are here because of your constant encouragement, support, and love. You're a reason why they're here. In these days ahead, I would ask that they may need just a little more than the usual amounts of kind acts and your love. So please, while we're going to try our best to take care of them, they may need a little bit more loving and caring during these next 4 years. Now, if I can address the class of 2018, can I ask you to please all stand and face these special people that are in the audience? I'd like you to turn and recognize your parents, spouses, grandparents, sisters, brothers, children, significant others, and I want you to give them the loudest round of enthusiastic applause that you can ever do. Thank you. If I can ask you to please be seated. In conclusion, and really on behalf of the faculty and staff, and we have truly the best faculty and staff across, and I could ever imagine having, we are truly proud and enthusiastic that each of you have selected to become a member of the UNE, University of New England College of Pharmacy family and team. We always talk about it being a family and a team. You join a fantastic group of colleagues in our PharmD classes of 2015, 2016, and 2017, as well as our many successful alumni from the classes of 2013 and 2014. We know that each of you bring wonderful knowledge, talents, and skills to our college and to UNE. I truly and wholeheartedly look forward to the opportunities to work together as we continue the many successes in the college. Advance that important role that you've heard that pharmacists must play in patient care in Maine and beyond, and create the knowledge and discoveries in our classrooms, laboratories, and clinics. From the bottom of my heart, I am very thankful, and I thanks each of you for becoming a part of our UNE family and team. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Briseau. Well, in closing, those are good words, right? Good in closing, I'd like to thank the members of the platform party for coming to today's event, the faculty for coming to today's event. I'd also like to give a special thanks to the members of our Dean's Ambassador team who are here today, giving their time, their Saturday, to be a part of this ceremony. We have Darnell Umang, we have Laura Hitchcock, we have Jody Roy, Huang Pham, Jessica Diala, Brian Park, Christopher Stanton, Han Dong, Morgan Harper, Christine Lin, Andrea Nakamura, and Emily Erpenbach. If you could give them a round of applause, I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. We appreciate their help in everything they do to help us run the college, actually. They show up at our events and help us, extra pair of hands, extra enthusiasm about the College of Pharmacy, and we appreciate that. I now ask Erica McDonald, Amber Windler, Joanne Wood, Danielle Lawrence, Pauline Dombrowik, I'm sorry, Pauline, Carrie Snyder, to please stand also. These people are giving their times also to be here today to help us. There are others who couldn't be here today. We have Anne-Marie McDonough, who couldn't be here today, and Elizabeth Huntley, and they deserve recognition as well. Finally, there are a couple staff members that really ran this whole show. I would come in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they'd be working on this event. And I'd leave at 5 o'clock at night, and they'd be working on this event. I'd like us all to recognize Ms. Margaret Donovan and Renee Dana. Would you please stand? They truly made sure everything was in place and all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and really set up this entire program. I thank you very much. The white coat ceremony is now concluded. I ask that you please remain seated until the faculty, staff, and students have exited. Our faculty will be congratulating the students at the exit of the auditorium over here. Please feel free to stay to take photos and chat with faculty and staff. We'll have a photographer up front here taking pictures if you want to stand by the oath of the Pledge of Professionalism. We also have in a gymnasium a backdrop that you can take pictures at with your family, friends, faculty. Please don't hesitate to make use of these resources. I thank you very much for sharing this Saturday morning with us, and I wish you safe travels. This meeting is adjourned.